lie down flat, okay? We're gonna work with the shoulders and superficial back muscles. So I want you to get comfortable. You may want to use a block below the forehead or a book or a little blanket, little pillow, okay? And we'll send the arms here. Arms to the sides. And me lifting, okay? So again, the block is a little bit too big, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Ideal will be something that is half the size of the block, right? So your neck can be very long. Okay, so we're lifting those arms. Okay, you can give me fists. And also, if you create a thumb up, rotate your thumb up to ceiling. Okay, we're gonna hit the rhomboids and then lower trapezius. So kind of the area between your shoulders. Lift, hold, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Going again. Lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Go again. Lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. 2 more. Lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it down. Give me one more. And then stay up. Just gonna move those shoulders. 3, 2, 1. Turn your thumbs down. Your palms will be turning to ceiling, and you're trying to bring your knuckles together behind your back. Relax your elbows and hands. Elbows to the floor. And then lift your elbows, lift your hands. Straighten your arms. We're gonna go sideways. Palms to the ground or even thumbs to ceiling, so we're externally rotating. We're going to reach overhead with thumbs up and then relax your arms by your side, by your ears. Go again, lift off. Move those arms sideways. Rotate your thumbs down. Reach backwards. Bend your elbows so your knuckles can touch over your ribs or lower back. Relax your hands and elbows. Lift your elbows, lift your hands. Straighten your elbows. Arms long, going snow angel. Thumbs down, then thumbs up, and you're going overhead. Bring those biceps as close to the ears as you possibly can. Relax. One more round. Lift up. Circle. Bend your elbows, knuckles together, and relax your hands and elbows. Final movement. We're going overhead. Same path. Same repetition. Thumbs up. Hold off the ground. Relax. Notice the chest was on the floor all the way through. Now into a stretch. Left arm out to the side, palm flat. Bend your right knee and right elbow. And then roll onto your left side. Maybe block below the head for comfort. And we're opening the chest. So now passively we're reinforcing whatever we've been doing actively, using our back muscles and back of the shoulders. Stretching the front. Return. Same thing. Okay, I'm gonna go through this one more time in a moment. This whole thing. Again, think chest muscles, mostly stretching our pecs. All that sort of big triangle covering the breast or under the breast, all the way to the sort of right around the armpit. Segments. Okay, I'm gonna go into a little flow before we come down for this one more time. Okay? So come up into your hands and knees and then down dog. Stretch through your calves. Okay, you should be really, for the hips, the stomach, back, and shoulders, you should feel quite warmed up. Okay, we're gonna go slowly. And we're gonna go in sort of circles, right? Or think of this combo of plank. Hold for a moment, press down through your finger pads. Don't let your hips drop or lift too high. The hips a little bit lower than shoulder level. And then bend the knees, aim for a squat, and then lengthen the legs. Again, feet could be wider if you prefer. So float into a plank. Lock your knees and tuck your tailbone. One strong tummy. Bend the knees. Again, you could drop the knees to the floor if you wanted to for a transition, and then lengthen. So you feel this a little bit in your quads and your thighs. And again, press down through your finger pads like you're clawing the mats. Elbows long. Hold for a moment. You can appreciate, again, the effort that goes into holding or bearing weight on your arms. And again, plank and claw the mat, right? Curl the fingers, press through your finger pads. Elbows straight, so your triceps are working. Push the ground away. Down. It's up. One more. Plank and hold. We'll get long. Head forwards, heels back, knees to ceiling, and squeeze your glutes just to help your pelvis. All right. From here, right foot towards the hands. And we will start on the ground, okay? We'll start on the ground with left knee on the floor, and I would like your knee to go as far as you can over the toes. I'm gonna move the camera in a moment so you can see what I'm gonna do going up. You're trying to stay square, so I don't want you to turn, okay? Stay as square as possible and see if you can completely flex or bend your knee joint, okay? Here. I'm actually trying to almost sit on my heel. Don't worry if heel lifts initially, okay? It's absolutely fine. This could be, of course, done with a little book below your heel. Now just try to push through the toes, and then as soon as you can, push through the heel and tuck your tailbone under, so your front leg is working, okay? We're gonna do like 4 preps. Sinking, sinking, sinking. I'm trying to open those hip flexors, and then push down through the toes, and then heel, and then tuck tailbone under. A couple more, because in a moment, if you want more, you'll be going up all the way to lunging, right? So this will be your effort for the legs for today. So now I'm going to try to balance and go through the same motion all the way up. So I'm going back and up, tucking tailbone under, and I'm going forwards, driving the knee forwards. Look at the back toes. They have to really get deep into extension, right? If uncomfortable, obviously you can just stay on the floor and practice this, okay? If you're good with it, we're going up. 3 more, okay? Wider stance, so right foot to the right, left foot to the left if you're feeling wobbly. Again, I'm trying to tuck tailbone under and drive that knee over the toes. Hold on to the wall if needed, or grab some chairs and have the chairs by your side, okay? Just to practice. And on the way down, we're trying to go slowly because I would like us to have that input into the quads again. I have 1 more left, okay? Ready, push, push. So you will feel again the front leg, lots of pushing through the front leg and front hip, or right hip. Down. Good. Now hands on the floor, you can use your blocks and then lengthen through the front leg. So again, we don't want this set of banana back, okay? Because that's not a hinge. We need a long lower back. Come up as high as necessary so your back is nice and long. We've been working on this, I think last week, a little bit of a hinge work. Again, you can lift your right toes here. Yeah, I always suggest coming higher, even if you're flexible, just because we want to really prioritize tilt from the hips rather than stretch off the lower back ligaments. It's okay if the knee bends, front knee bends a little bit. You can bend the back knee too. I'm hanging out here for a moment. Again, the stance doesn't have to be that wide. Maybe you want to step closer and drop the heel for more stability, okay? Maybe you will feel like, oh, this is actually more intense. Fine with me. You can even come closer and fold, as long as we're maintaining that long lower back, okay? So you've got that hinge. And even head to this sort of position. I'll leave the choice up to you. You don't have to obviously stay in one position. I like to target all fibers of the hamstring, so I will be rotating on my right heel. When you're in here, You could also turn your whole pelvis, target your inner thighs and the medial hamstring, and then turning out. So I'm doing a little pivot on my right heel. Pelvis follows. It's just again optional. If you go closer as well, I'm putting my weight on my back foot, but you can do pivot as well. Okay, give me another breath or two. I'm gonna take you to another position. You may need those blocks, so keep them close. Before we transition, make sure the step is bigger. Walk your hands on the inside of your right foot and maybe stack the blocks here. Maybe you will need another one because I would like you in this sort of position. So it's, you don't have to work from your glutes very hard. You're sitting. And that's really the position we will aim for without the blocks, okay? So maybe extra block, maybe you take one block out and you sit quite low, and then you can just shift weight onto your feet, onto the block, unload, okay? You can do it obviously in a higher position with another block or two blocks. Okay, again, it's gonna feel like a stretch in here, especially when you're leaning forwards. And if you were to bring the big toes down, okay, because that requires a bit of rotation in the socket. But don't worry too much. I'm not asking about for any particular shape. Just sort of easing yourself into half squat. It's actually called Cossack squat. Okay, just variation, like you're doing stretch of one leg and then you're squatting on the other. You can go towards the leg, walk forwards. And then again, if you feel comfortable just removing the block and just staying here, progress. If it feels like, oh, it's just grabbing or gripping too much in the hip or it's too much of a stretch, okay, feel free to bring those blocks back. Rock forwards and back. 3 more breaths, okay? And then we start from the top, doing the other leg. And then we will do the same thing, but on the other side. So slowly getting out. You can just, we're going to go back to the down dog, okay? I'm going to go this way so you can again see side. Use your hands safely. Transition to down dog, okay? We'll be now stepping left foot forwards. So we'll just review the planks. Okay, we're going to do like 3 rounds. So float your heels high. Bring your shoulders over the wrist. And again, knees down or knees in space. You're bending, you're sitting back. Lengthen. Back to plank. Travel back to plank. Remember, fingertips pressing down. Lock your knees. Push ground away. Final. Repetition. Long neck. Push your heels back. Heels over the toes. And then we step the left foot between the hands. And we start on the ground. Remember, here. Send your left knee over the toes as far as you can. It's okay, even if your heel lifts. It's going to be quite intense stretch to the psoas. If it's hurting the lower back, again, lean forwards a little bit so the lower back stays long. If you're comfortable tucking under, going or looking for that stretch, then straighten up a little bit more. Back toes ideally will be tucked under at some point soon. Okay? Then relax it for just a stretch for a second. Okay, get ready. We'll first start pushing, okay? So toes pushing, then heel. I'm tucking, tailbone under. And traveling forwards and back. And think of that distance between left and right leg. You don't want to be too close. You need to have legs in line with hips, okay? So width-wise, you have a stable position. And then see if you can rise up, okay? So 4 or 5 reps from here. Now push to the toes, then push to the heel. I'm going backwards and up. So my direction is there to here rather than just forwards and back, okay? Down to the floor. And a diagonal, I will be going that way, pushing forwards and back. And again, tucking tailbone under to return. So foot drives down and forwards. And at the same time, I'm tucking tailbone under because I'm trying to stay upright to use my glutes. And then forward we go. One more. And then we're hinging. Okay. So grab those blocks, collect them, keep them below the shoulders. Okay, and again, then back to the hinge, long lower back. Any of those variations I've mentioned before, you can step closer already. Trying to stay square to the wall you're facing. And also hips level, try not to sit and move the pelvis just yet. In the neutral position, you should be stretching both the medial, kind of the hamstring pod that is closer to the center, and then the ones on the outside further away from the center. And again, explore the distance variation, right? So bring it back closer. See if you can hinge with blocks or without. Maybe going a little bit wider. Find that sweet spot where you feel, oh, this is really stretching the back of my leg. And we can also add the ankle flexion and do a little twister on the heel, little pivot to the right, little pivot to the left. You can do it in either setup, right? So wide stance, narrow stance. And you will be traveling between kind of lateral hamstring, so outside of the thigh, all the way to the medial hamstring and even adductor, okay? Because your adductors work as hamstrings. They're not like completely separate groups. They help each other out. Sometimes one takes over from the other. Okay, so get ready. We literally will be traveling towards the center of the mat again. So bend your front knee, take the blocks with you, rotate, and then again, stack the blocks from the high position, 2 or 3, however many you need. And yes, toes up to ceiling. So we're rotating externally. And we can just hang out here for a moment, okay? A little bit less depth when you're higher up. So that may be a little more suitable initially. And it's okay if you're leaning forwards, wherever you feel comfortable, because our hips are not the same. So I could tell you, drop the big toe and stay upright, and it may not happen in your hip. Okay, in majority, you will have to kind of lean forwards a little bit and then toes up, and you will feel the depth is accessible. Otherwise, it may be like, I'm stuck, I can't go any further until I adjust. And that's absolutely fine. That's why you should never fall into poses, but rather, listen to the body and just see if maybe rocking forwards and back, how you're feeling. Maybe you can feel stretched down here. However, again, if you're comfortable in this setup, you could try turning your big toe down. That's obviously big toe and your thigh. So that's already rotating a thigh in the socket. It's not as easy, okay? You may have to lean out or maybe go on toes, and it's just optional, okay? It may not feel good in your hip, so I wouldn't necessarily force myself here, but I'm exploring. Again, the stretch we did last week, right, with elevated foot on the chair and abductor stretch, that was sort of the next stage of that. And again, blocks or no blocks, maybe you're off the blocks completely. And maybe you're going to the floor, okay? This could be accessible too. So going to the floor and then rising up and shifting. Okay, give me 1 or 2 more breaths. And we'll slowly transition. So you can either drop on the floor or rise up onto your hands and knees. Okay, if you lie down, I'll just Turn. We finish in a sort of banana shape, right side bending. So send your arms and legs over to one side. You keep your head, shoulders, and hips and feet on the floor. We're creating a side bending, okay? Banana shape or crescent shape. Going to place my right foot over my left side, and stretching. Same thing on the other side. I'm sending my feet and my hands to my left. I'm stretching my right side now. Left foot over the right. I'm pinning my right ankle to the ground and I'm pulling on my right wrist. And we're trying to create a bit of space again. Those are the intercostal muscles between the ribs, your QL through the lower back, and then all the abdominal muscles that attach to the pelvis. And it all should also support our abdominal viscera, right? Our GI tract. And return up to seated. And finish off again seated with just a movement of your neck. All right. That'll be it for this morning. Thank you for joining me.